Recap in minutes. In today's video, we will be going through an action thriller and heist movie, Den of Thieves. There will be spoilers ahead, so chill out and enjoy. At the start of the movie, a bank truck is shown moving on the road somewhere in Los Angeles which stops at a donut shop. Two men go into the shop to get donuts. A car of armed robbers stops behind their truck. When they came out of the shop, they held them there at gunpoints. At the same time, another SUV of the robbers comes in front of the truck. One of the robbers comes out of that SUV and asks the driver to open the truck and come out of it. Somehow, the driver immediately alerts the police, sending a short warning message to the police. The driver refuses to unlock the truck. One of the truck guards reaches for his pistol, but the robber sees him and kills him. The other robber kills the driver. In the meanwhile, the police arrive at the location and a heavy shootout begins there. The robbers outpower the police, kill officers and drive the truck to their hideout. When they reach the warehouse, their leader Ray asks to open the truck. When he finds nothing in the truck, he tells everyone that they are just the cop killers. In the morning, a detective named Nick arrives at the scene and asks about the dead body of the robber they were standing by. His fellow detectives Borracho, Murph, and Tony brief him on the incident of the previous night. They inform him that the robbers killed 4 policemen. Nick realized that the robbers took this place en route because they knew this is the restricted airspace area. He told them that they are going to deal with smart thieves. At the same moment, one of Ray's guys, Bosco, was capturing the photos in the street hiding in a car. He was sent by him to know the follow-up at the scene. When he gets back, he tells Ray about Big Nick and his proceedings. In the warehouse, they do research on Nick. While in the Los Angeles Police Department office, Nick and his team start investigating the robbery. They made the assumption that there is an inside job in this incident. They raise the question of how the robbers knew about this out-of-schedule movement of the truck. They start to suspect the men in banks, casinos, and donut shops. They found out that Ray is the main culprit, who is the mastermind of this truck robbery. They also found out about one member of Ray's gang, Donnie, who works in a bar. Nick goes there and starts chatting with him. He questions Donnie about a lot of cops coming into that bar. He tells him that this bar is a neutral place for all. Nick mocks him and goes out. When Donnie comes out to go home after his shift, Nick knocks him out and takes him to a motel room. When Donnie wakes up, he sees Nick and his men with some girls in the room. He tells them that they have taken him for someone else. At this, Nick shows him his photo with Ray. One of the detectives of Nick's team, Gus, assures him that they know who he is. He gives him the information about his previous crimes, that he was arrested for GTA, served in county jail, and got the fastest ticket for violating the traffic rules. When he continues to deny his link with Ray, Nick strangles him. After this, he starts to talk and tells Nick that he met Ray at the bar. He confesses to him that his role in his gang is only as a driver. He tells them all how he met Ray and how Ray does his work. Nick asks him to keep doing what he is doing in Ray's gang. In the morning, when Nick goes home, his wife Debbie shows him a text that he has sent to another girl, but his wife received it. She takes their daughters and leaves the house. While Nick goes to the office, there they get the identity details of the dead robber that night. They check his previous records and find his connection with Ray. They run checks on every member of Ray's gang. They come to the conclusion that if they capture Ray, they will solve all the big heists in the city. After that, when they complete their research and go for lunch, Nick gets served by the court employee a divorce letter from his wife. On the other hand, Ray was planning to rob the LA branch of the Federal Reserve Bank. He tells them about the tight security measures implemented by the bank. He also informs his gang that there were 53 robbery attempts but could not succeed. He tells them the daily work of the bankers on the ground floor. Ray draws their attention to a very specific mechanism of the bank's work. He discloses that this branch of the Reserve Bank erases the serial numbers and shreds these unfit $100 notes worth $30 million. He tells them that they are planning to rob these $30 million right before shredding. Bosco checks all the security measures, entry points, and opening and closing times. As part of their plan, Donnie starts a job as a delivery man in a Chinese restaurant. He gets the chance to go to the bank daily to take their deliveries. He comes to the bank with 2 delivery bags. Security cleared him and let him go to the cafeteria area. He delivers one of his bags to the women in the cafeteria while he hides the other one in the ventilation shaft in the bathroom. In the next scene, Donnie and Ray along with his gang members were having dinner at a restaurant. Nick and his fellow detectives also come to the same restaurant. He dramatically passes by Donnie and tells him that he spotted him at the gym. Nick offends Ray in front of their families by insulting the football team he used to play. When things get heated up, Detective Gus pulls him away. When they come back to the warehouse, Ray and his crew interrogate Donnie about him being a cop. Donnie denies it, But Ray pulls a gun on him and asks him how he knows Nick. Donnie starts to tell Ray that Nick came to him and that he knows who they are. Ray releases him and asks him to go inform Nick that the robbery will be on Friday. In the next scene, Nick goes to his wife's place, where she was having dinner with her friends, and he signs the divorce papers there. In the morning, when he was on shopping with his detective fellas, Donnie comes there. He tells Nick that they will rob the bank on Friday. After some time, Nick goes to a club where Ray's girlfriend works and he hires her. They spend the night together in her apartment. Ray comes to her apartment in the morning and sees Nick coming out of her girlfriend's room. Nick wears his shirt and leaves while Ray goes to her room, where she tells him that she did what he asked her to do. On the heist day, Ray and Nick prepare guns and wear vests and armor to go to the bank. Nick and his detectives were waiting outside the bank for Ray and his men. When they arrive, they shoot out the cameras, take everyone's cell phones, and cover their heads with bags. Ray picks up the bank manager and asks him to call 911. He asks him to tell them to deliver $10 million in a helicopter loaded with fuel within an hour, or else they'll kill one hostage every hour until their demands are met. He also says that no cops or negotiators are allowed to approach the bank or they will kill a hostage. After this call, the police and FBI arrive outside of the bank, but Nick stops them. In the bank, the phone rings and Ray lets the manager answer it by putting the speakers on. He asks if their demands are being met. The LAPD negotiator says they're working on it. Ray says, "You just killed a hostage," and hangs up, and one of his men kills a woman. The negotiator calls the bank again and the manager answers. He asks if they can wait 90 minutes. Ray affirms it. After some time, outside of the bank, police and the FBI are looking at a map of the bank. In the meanwhile, an explosion occurs and they assume that Ray's crew has blown open the vault. Nick gets back to the map and points at something on the schematics, and asks what it is. He says it's a sewer line but cemented up. Nick stares at a manhole and moves toward the bank with a crowbar. He enters the bank's front door and finds hostages. But Ray and his men have left the building through that manhole. Nick gets into the manhole to follow them. While on the ground, Ray with one of his men Ensign goes into the bank pretending to be the Alameda security guards. They park the truck, pull their 2 money tubs, and roll them into the shredding area on the counting floor. The money counters start to roll the money tubs. Ray and Ensign go to the waiting room and transmit the message to Bosco in the utility tunnel beneath the bank. Bosco flips a switch on the power grid that turns off the banknote shredders, as well as the camera and motion sensors in the $100 count room. In this situation, a policeman clears the rooms and counters the employees. After the counters and police security exit the counting floor, Ray signals Donnie over the radio to come out and stacks the money back into the tub. A policeman notices that the camera and motion sensors are out in the counting room. He goes to the cafeteria and calls the counters. Donnie hides behind a table in the counting room. He packs $100 notes in the bags and tosses them into the trash tub. The security guard returns to the counting floor with the 2 counters. Ray radios Donnie and tells him to get out. He unscrews an air vent cover and gets into it. Talking over their radios, Donnie tells Ray that he's in the vents, and Ray signals Bosco to turn the power back on. When everyone gets back to work, Donnie jumps out of the ventilation shaft in the bathroom and collects that Chinese takeout bag he left there a few days ago. He delivers the old food to the ladies in the cafeteria and leaves the building using the access card. While in the bank, the counters confirm Alameda's account and let them go. They give the empty tubs back to Ray and Ensign and they leave the building. On the road, Bosco follows the removal truck. Ray catches up with the diffuse truck and blocks it off in the front while Bosco blocks it. Bosco runs up to the driver's door, points a gun at the driver. Bosco takes the truck and the rest of the crew follow him to the dump site. Nick was searching for Ray's men, and he spots Donnie walking down the street and pulls over. They pull him into their truck in front of Mac. Nick and his detective fellows beat him up and ask for Ray's location. He tells them everything. Nick finds Ray's car at the dump site and starts following him. Ray looks in the rearview mirror and sees Nick's truck about 20 cars behind in the traffic jam. They handcuff Donnie and come out to take Ray out of his car. Ray, Ensign, and Bosco get out of the Suburban while the Nick's team comes close. Ray opens fire, killing Borracho at the moment. In the exchange the firing, Nick kills Bosco and Ray shoots Tony in the knee. Ray and Ensign run into a street and Nick follow them. Nick manages to shoot Ray when he tries to jump over a thin steel wall. Ray tries to reload his gun as he lies on the road and manages to do it. He walks towards Nick while shooting at him. Nick shoots Ray, killing him afterward. Nick goes back to his car and discovers that Donnie has escaped. He and Gus open the black bags of the bank in Ray's Suburban and find that they are filled with shredded bills. The FBI guy comes to him and says sorry about one of Nick's men dying on the job. Nick goes to the bar where Donnie worked and asks about his whereabouts. The owner says that Donnie quit 2 days ago. He sits down at the bar and notices 2 Fed employees walk in with access cards around their necks. He stares at a photo of a football team on the wall and watches Donnie, Mac, Boss, and Alexi on the team. He walks out of the bar and looks at the building of the Federal Reserve Bank. Nick realizes that Donnie was the mastermind. The movie ends with the shorts of Donnie approaching Ray, talking about the Federal Bank heist, and Donnie fixing the money from the Ziploc bags, concealing it in tires and shipping it to Panama. The ending is Donnie bartending at a bar in London. Mac, Boss, and Alexi are laughing at the bar. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this and to help the channel grow.